Okay, so we are going to look at multiplying radical expressions. So the first thing, we have our product rule to multiply radicals, and if we have the square root of a times the square root of b, that means we have the square root of a times b. So square root of 3 times the square root of 5 is going to be the square root of 15. And then we also have our distributive property. It's the exact same distributive property we've learned before. Now it's just with radicals, we're going to do square root of a times 4x to get 4x square root of a, and then square root of a times 3 square root of b, we get 3 square root of ab. So to multiply radicals, you're going to multiply what's outside radical signs together, and then you're going to multiply what's inside the radical signs together. You then simplify, and then double check, see if you can simplify anymore, combine like radicals, make sure it is completely simplified. So our examples we have, for our first one, we have square root of 5 times the square root of 10. That is going to mean we have the square root of 5 times 10, which equals the square root of 50. Square root of 50, we can simplify that to the square root of 25 times the square root of 2, which then tells us we have 5 square root 2 as our final answer. We double check, can we simplify that anymore? Nope, so we're all good. The next one we have is the square root of 15 times the square root of 3. So that's going to give us the square root of 15 times 3, which is 45. We can then simplify the square root of 45 to the square root of 9 times the square root of 5. So our final answer is 3 square root of 5. This next one we have is square root of 18a squared times 4 square root of 3a squared. So there's an understood 1 outside, so we do the outsides together. 4 times 1 is going to give us 4. And then square root of 18 times 18a squared times 3a squared, that's going to give us 54a to the 4th. We're then going to simplify that, so we have 4 times the square root of 9 times the square root of 6 times the square root of a times a times a times a. And then you're going to simplify that, so we have 4 times 3 times the square root of 6 times a squared, because we have 2 pairs, so 12a squared square root of 6 is our final answer, okay? You're then going to work, and then we just do the same thing, so negative 3 square root of 7r cubed times 6 square root of 7r squared. We do our outsides and get negative 18. Do our insides times each other, so 7 times 7 is going to give us 49. R cubed times r squared is r to the 5th. So then we have negative 18 times 49, square root of 49 is 7, and then we're going to have r squared square root of r, which then is going to simplify to negative 126 r squared square root of r. And then our final one, 14 square root of 14x times 3 minus 2x square root of 7. We're going to use our distributive property, so we're going to multiply this. Again, there's an understood 1 outside of that radical if there is no number, so we will have 3 square root of 14x minus 2x square root of, let's see, that's going to be 98x when we do 7 times 14x. We then go ahead and simplify, so we cannot, let's see, 14 cannot be simplified anymore, so that's going to stay as is. 98 though can be simplified to 49 times 2, so we're going to have 2x times 7 square root of 2x. So then we have 3 square root of 14x minus, we can do 2 times 7 to get 14x square root of 2x. These are not like radicals, so it is simplified as the expression. Okay? That was a really fast overview, just some practice and explanation. You will go then practice on your own But before you do, there is an extra video posted if you would like to watch that for further examples and explanations. And then also just my big thing, guys, a lot of people will forget to look to see if they're supposed to add, subtract, or multiply. They're just gonna automatically multiply. Please watch your operations, okay? Please look and see what is the problem saying to do. Is it saying to multiply? Is it saying to subtract? Is it saying to multiply and then subtract? Please watch the signs, okay? You guys are great. Good luck.